Hi. So today's journal entry is about post traumatic stress disorder and narcissistic abuse, and how things that you think are probably kind of innocent can actually be a trigger and hit you out of the blue. So my dishwasher's been broken for a little while, and my husband is not the best at kind of taking care of home improvement things. He's just so busy. And so I cut him some slack on that. But dishwasher hasn't been working. I really wanted to get it going, so I kind of started tearing it down, cleaned a filter, and one of the pumps wasn't circulating right, and whatnot. Kind of deduced what the problem was, hooked it back up, and it wouldn't fill with water. So I think that minerals have gotten in there, plugged a screen. But anyway, that's all besides the point. Still couldn't get it working. So I'd mentioned to my husband that if I can't today get the dishwasher up and running, then I would go buy another dishwasher. And he looks at my teenage daughter and he said, "But why do we need a dishwasher? We already have a dishwasher." And he points to my daughter, and she, of course, kind of snarky back, ha ha, very funny, whatever. Yeah, right, I'm not the dishwasher. And but that statement was so triggering to me. And all I could say was, "That is not funny." And they were both laughing and kind of bantering back at each other. And I said, "Guys, that is not funny. Not funny." And my my daughter looks at me, she looks at my husband, and back and forth. And the look on her face said, "Oh dear, we've broken mom." So I'm not really sure what expression I had on my face, but apparently they both, went silent and, oops, and kind of meandered off, not really knowing what to say. But um, what was, why that was triggering to me is that for years I felt like I was overlooked in my previous marriage. My needs were not important. Um, and my my ex-husband, I remember asking him one time, you know, telling him that I wanted to get a dishwasher when we were putting in a kitchen in a new house we were building. And he said, "I can't understand why I need a dishwasher because I already have three," meaning me and two of my daughters. And that reduced me to nothing more than an appliance, something to serve, something that suited his needs. It had nothing to do with the fact that a dishwasher, very common kitchen appliance that would make my life easier, my daughter's, jobs easier, my son, all of us. It's a very common kitchen appliance, but apparently um, that didn't serve him. And I think when my current husband made that comment, that's exactly what flooded back. All of those old feelings, the narcissism, the putting me in my place, and that wasn't his intention at all. But I was exactly back in that moment 20 years ago. I wasn't in the present. This was 20 years ago is where I went, and it was very upsetting. And I ended up actually having to go into the other room, and I broke down crying because it was so real and so present. And uh, and that's the kind of triggers that narcissistic abuse and even childhood traumas can can seep in. And it's no fun. It's something that I deal with. Sometimes it's more frequent. Sometimes I'll go months, even a year without something. And, lately it's kind of been a little bit more frequent, so I've been dealing with it. But But yeah, that's my little honest journal entry today.